Hello everyone. I'm just going to fill you in on something that happened this week. A little bit of background information. For those of you that have seen my videos, you know already that I disassociated from Jehovah's Witnesses at the end of May. I don't often mention my husband in my videos for various reasons. However, his situation is that he's actually been inactive for almost 7 months. So he's not been to any meetings, he's not been in the ministry, and quite often when elders have tried to talk to him, he's actually been unavailable. So I can't really say much more about his situation than that. But about a month ago, one morning, the door went and I answered, and I was really surprised to see it was one of the local congregation elders. It was Rob, and it took me by surprise. So when I opened the door, I said, "Oh, hello," and he said, "Is he at home?" And silly me, I said, "Oh yeah, hold on a minute, I'll get him for you." And I came inside and I got my husband and he went out to the door. And I sat there and I thought to myself, how rude. He's come to my house at my door and he's going to shun me at my door. You know, I don't care what they do out on the street, but don't come to my house and treat me like dirt on my doorstep. Like, that's not on. And I thought to myself, he's got me this time, but that will never happen again like that. So anyway, he was trying to fish for information for with my husband, you know, what he's doing, kind of thing. And my husband just said to him, "I'm busy, I'll call you when I can, you know, I can't speak to you right now." So anyway, this week, so obviously in the meantime I've been doing my activism and it's really been effective. So every time I go down there, they pack up the cart and go. I've actually engaged with loads of the public on the subject of the child abuse issues in Watchtower. The local community members of it have said that they're going to share my videos and they're going to look into the issues. And I even had, you know, a member of the public come down and support me with my protests, you know, willing to come out and actually hold a sign up with me. But as it was, the day she came, they didn't come out. So it's been very effective. And, you know, in a small town where we live, you know, news does spread like wildfire. So, yeah, a lot of people know about it and a lot of people have been supporting. There's been some people, obviously, that don't like what I'm doing. And I wouldn't expect, you know, you can't please all the people all the time. Anyway, so Tuesday I go to get my little boy from school. When I come back, I pull up on the drive, and who's standing at the door? It's Rob, another elder, Bob, and my husband's standing there talking to him, and my husband looks agitated. So I thought to myself, oh, I'd like to know what's been said. Anyway, I thought straight away, they're not going to ignore me today on my own doorstep. You know, they're not going to treat me like dirt and get away with it today. So I get out of the car and I walk over and, you know, they try their best to not acknowledge me. They didn't even really step out the way so that I could get in my house. Anyway, I said, "Hello, Rob. Hello, Bob." And they both ignored me. So Rob stepped back a bit so that I could squeeze through. And I thought, no, I'm not squeezing through anywhere. So I said to him, "You're going to shun me on my own doorstep. You're going to come to my house, knock on my door, and you're going to treat me like dirt." I said, "You're rude." So he said, "No, it's not rude." He said, "You know the reasons we can't greet you." So I said, "No, I don't." He said, "You know that it's scriptural reasons that we can't greet you." I said, "No, it's not." I said, "I'm a Christian." I said, "I'm not engaged in any, you know, works of the flesh or anything like that." But even though that's by the by, because basically their reasons for not greeting, they just lump everybody in with the Antichrist. So anyway, they kind of sort of said, oh well, we'll catch you at another time, to my husband, and they backed off down to the pavement. So I made it clear to them, don't come to my house and treat me like dirt. You know, if you were knocking on all the other doors on this street and someone answered the door, you'd say hello. But you come to my door and treat me like dirt at my door, you know, nah, it's not on. So they go to the pavement, and then we've been doing some home maintenance this week, and we'd hired a sander, and it turned up at at this exact moment. So my husband went out, the lorry was pulled up, he went out to sign the paperwork and get the sander off the lorry and that. And they were hovering on the pavement. So I went back up to the pavement, and Rob starts saying to my husband, oh, if you're sanding the floors, but you're thinking about putting a resin down or anything. And I thought, you absolute insensitive pig, like, you're pompous and arrogant. How dare you try and carry on a conversation like that? Like, you know, you haven't just treated me like dirt at my own doorstep, then you're going to just come back and just talk about, oh, how to sand a floor. So I started again. I started saying to him, you are absolutely rude. And as it was, you know, cowardly Bob was just standing there like he always does, just like not got anything to say. I don't, you know, he was probably only there, you know, just as a second witness, because he certainly weren't saying anything. I don't think I heard one word come out of his mouth. Anyway, I've been forwarding lots of information to everybody in my WhatsApp and on my contacts list. And, you know, about United Nations, Jimmy Swaggart, being baptised, the organisation, you know, that Jesus is not Michael the Archangel. I've been putting these messages out there for different ones, and also referring, you know, different, sending links to different videos on YouTube and that, and JW Facts and all that sort of thing. Now, obviously, as I expected, a lot of people have blocked me, and that's fine. You know, I've got to do what I've got to do. They've got to do what they've got to do. That's fine. But quite a few people haven't blocked me, and I can see when I send WhatsApps that they're actually reading the messages, because you get the two little blue ticks, don't you? And Rob has been reading messages that I've sent. And I think the one I sent him was about United Nations, about investments in weapons and soft porn and cigarettes, and about Michael not being Jesus. That's it. And so I said to him, and all that stuff that I sent you, I said, I hope you look into it and see, you know, what it is that you're involved in. So he said, well, I have been looking into it. I have been looking into it. He said, I've been looking into the United Nations thing. So I said, good. I said, all the stuff I sent you is true. And he said, no, it's not all exactly true. But as it was, it turned out the conversation that he had with my husband was him saying that basically he can't see what was wrong with Jehovah's Witnesses being NGOs for United Nations. So, well, there you go. What can you say? But it turned out that the main reason that they came round was to try to get my husband to exercise his headship and put his foot down and put a stop to my activism. Now, he told them that I'm exercising my God-given conscience, that the information that I'm putting out there is true, and that he's not going to stop me. So I don't know where things will stand with him in the near future. But, you know, I'm grateful to him that he made that clear to them. But it just goes to show that basically they're backed into a corner. They don't really know what to do about me. So that's quite positive, really. So I took that as a bonus. Anyway, I mentioned in one of my last videos about our JW's Christian, about the scripture at 2 John that they use to not even say a greeting. So I'm just going to read to you from their Bible what the scripture actually says. Sorry, that was Bruce on my lap that just jumped then. It's in 2 John, and it's I'll read it to you from verse 8. It says, "Look out for yourselves so that you do not lose the things we have worked to produce, but that you may obtain a full reward. Everyone who pushes ahead and does not remain in the teaching of the Christ does not have God. The one who does remain in this teaching is the one who has both the Father and the Son. If anyone comes to you and does not bring this teaching, do not receive him into your homes or say a greeting to him, for the one who says a greeting to him is a sharer in his wicked works. So basically, when you look at this scripture, their reason for not giving me a greeting, even though they came to my door, is basically that I'm the Antichrist. Now, when I disassociated, I sent copies of my letter to every member of the congregation almost, and also, you know, to members of other congregations. And I made it clear that I've not lost my faith. You know, I'm still a follower of Christ. So, yeah, they've got that wrong. But even for those ones that are not Christians anymore when they come out of Watchtower, this scripture is not a reason to not say a greeting to them, because it talks about ones that are they're bringing a teaching. They're coming to you to teach you something. So it's not just a question of somebody who doesn't believe anymore. You know, this is a certain person who is actually coming out of their way to teach you something other than the Christ. So I can't imagine that happening on many occasions. But the thing with this scripture is they lump it in with the other scripture in Corinthians about quit mixing in company. So they don't only use this for people they deem to be antichrist, they'll use it for fornicators, idolaters, you know, drunks, whatever. And they lump it all in the same, and they use this scripture as their umbrella to just blank out everybody and shun everybody. But clearly you can see it's not scriptural. You know, they are extremists. So yeah, I'd just like to highlight that in my video. Anyway, I'd like to send my thanks out to all my subscribers. I've hit over 300 subscribers and I'm over the moon about that, because when you think about it, I've come out of a congregation of about 65 people. So, you know, that's almost 4 congregations that I've gained in subscribers. And I'm really grateful to everybody who likes and subscribes. But even more than that, I'm really grateful to people that give me positive comments, because they come through at different times of the day and night. And sometimes it's really nice, you know, to get a boost by somebody who says something supportive and encouraging. I'd also like to give a shout out to Joe, Runaway Slave. Your videos this week have absolutely cracked me up. I've been in stitches. So well done, Joe. And you know, everybody else that makes videos and gives comments, you know, it's upbuilding, and it helps you cope with, you know, your situation. So I'm grateful for that. And just one small thing I'd like to mention, somebody who's still a witness has contacted me this week and has said that they can see that I'm not doing anything spiteful. You know, they know the type of person that I am, and they can see that I wouldn't take lightly the information that I've found out, and they will not shun me, because, you know, in the past I've treated them very well when they needed help. So I'm grateful, and that message, you know, actually kind of brought a tear to my eye, because it's moving, because people have got a lot to lose if they don't adhere to Watchtower's standards. So yeah, thank you, and I wish you all have a good week, and I'll keep you posted on our situation and any car crashes I do, and I wish everybody well. Love to everyone. Bye bye.